Okay, so today we're jumping into this incredible story from the Bhagavata Purana. It's all about a cosmic test. One where the literal creator of the universe gets it in his head to challenge a power he just can't wrap his mind around.
This is the big question, right? It sets up this amazing showdown between immense power and, well, infinite reality. It really boils down to this. What happens when the guy who makes all the rules gets them completely and totally wrong?
So let's set the scene. Our story kicks off in this beautiful, peaceful forest called Vrindavan. And honestly, on the surface, everything looks perfectly normal, almost simple.
Just try to picture it. You've got this young boy, Krishna, and he's just hanging out with his best friends, a bunch of cowherd boys. They're sharing their lunches, cracking jokes, just lost in the moment. To anyone watching, he's just a happy, ordinary kid. And it's that very simplicity that's about to be put to the test. But watching this very ordinary scene from way up in his celestial home is a pretty extraordinary being, Lord Brahma. We're talking about the four-headed architect of the entire material universe. And he is, to put it mildly, confused.
He's looking down, and he just can't square what he's been told with what he's seeing with his own eyes. He sees a little kid playing, not the supreme being. And right there, in the mind of the great creator, this tiny seed of doubt starts to grow.
You see, Brahma's job as the creator gives him this immense sense of pride, right? He understands his own power better than anyone. But it's that very pride that's clouding his vision, making it totally impossible for him to accept a truth that looks so, well, simple.
So what's a creator god to do when he's feeling doubtful? Well, he comes up with a test. His ego is running the show now, and he decides he's going to methodically, almost scientifically, prove or disprove Krishna's divinity for good.
And oh, he has a plan. It's very clear. First, he just watches the scene. Then, bam, he uses his massive mystical power to make every single one of Krishna's friends and all of their calves just vanish. He tucks them all away in the secret cave, then kicks back to see what happens. The test is on. Let's see how this so-called supreme boy handles it when his entire world disappears.
Brahma is waiting for chaos, for panic, confusion, tears, you name it. But what actually happens is something totally beyond his cosmic imagination. Krishna doesn't panic at all. He just acts.
Immediately, like in a flash, he knows exactly what Brahma did. And so he just expands himself. He becomes a perfect, flawless replica of every single missing boy and every single missing calf. We're talking down to their exact personalities, the clothes they were wearing, everything. As far as anyone in Vrindavan is concerned, nothing has changed. Not a thing.
And get this divine illusion doesn't last for a minute or an hour, it goes on for one whole year. Now for Brahma, up in his celestial time frame, it was like the blink of an eye. But for everyone down in Vrindavan, it was a full year of their lives.
But here's where it gets really interesting. There was this unintended side effect. During that year, something in the village shifted. All the parents started feeling this deeper, more intense love for their children. The mother cows felt this overwhelming affection for their calves. Why? Because now every child and every calf was a direct expansion of Krishna himself, the source of all love. So love in the village hadn't just stayed the same, it had actually gotten stronger.
So after what feels like just a moment to him, Brahma decides, all right, test is over. He heads back to Vrindavan to check out the results of his little experiment. He's fully expecting to find a village in absolute turmoil. He arrives, and what he sees just doesn't compute. There are the boys, playing and laughing, exactly like they were before.
And yep, there are the calves, just grazing peacefully nearby.
This is where total confusion kicks in. The boys and calves are here, but Brahma knows for a fact that they are also still asleep in his magical cave. Both things are true at the same time, and his logical, creator's mind just starts to short-circuit.
That's the question, isn't it? It just hangs in the air, a perfect symbol of his shattered pride. For a being who literally made the rules of reality, this was simply impossible.
And that's when Krishna ends the test. Right before Brahma's eyes, every single boy and every single calf transforms. Each one becomes this brilliant, four-armed, celestial form of Lord Vishnu, a complete vision of the Supreme. Brahma is suddenly surrounded by an infinite display of the very divinity he came to question.
What Brahma is seeing in this moment is something the texts call divine reality. And it's not a trick,
It's not an illusion. It's a truth so powerful, so absolute, that the second you see it, it just incinerates any pride, any doubt, any illusion you might be holding on to.
And in that one instant, Brahma gets it. The test is over, and he's the one who failed. Completely humbled, the creator of the entire universe just falls down at the feet of this little cowherd boy and offers his prayers. His pride is just gone, totally dissolved by this power he couldn't even comprehend.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, first, that our own pride can literally create an illusion that we can't see past. Second, that unbelievable power is often hiding in the simplest things. It also shows us that Krishna, this simple boy, is the actual source of all those other divine forms. And finally, maybe the biggest lesson, is that real wisdom isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing when to surrender to a truth that's bigger than you.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, right? I mean, if the creator of the whole universe could be so blinded by his own pride that he missed the divine reality sitting right in front of him, what simple, powerful truths might we be overlooking in our own lives every single day?